welcome to Brands Hatch. We're here for a jam-packed weekend at the Lotus Festival. Coming up, we've got 2 fantastic races, and we're also going to check out what else is going on here this weekend. Down at Brands Hatch for the Elise Trophy race. It's been a great weekend so far, so let's see how they get on.
Well, this is the second race of the weekend, is the reverse grid race with the top 10 in qualifying reverse. So on pole position, we've got David Hay, and alongside him, Martin Wills, and Adam Knight and Phil Stratton-Lake on row 2. But watch for row 5. Andrew Bentley and Rob Boston have been doing most of the winning this year, and we can expect to see them shine very nicely. Well, the Lotus Festival has brought out an absolutely gigantic field. Marcus Jewell, good to see him back behind the wheel of an Elise with over 30 cars on the grid. Gisela and P. Ketville making their racing debuts this weekend here at Brands Hatch, and there towards the back of the field, which is completed by Dan Plant. So 32 of them due to line up in front of a large crowd basking in the summer sunshine. And this promises to be very entertaining indeed around the challenges of the Grand Prix Loop. As away we go. It's a good start from the blue car. David Hay in pole position, but also well away. Here's Martin Wills, the black and orange car, and it's Wills who may well lead into Paddock Hill Bend here as he tries to swoop around the outside of David Hay, and through he goes. So it's Wills who leads, Hay in second, and then we've got Phil Stratton-Lake and Ken Savage disputing third and fourth. Savage in the bright yellow car, Stratton-Lake the green machine as they climb up the hill towards Druids and around the hairpin. Everybody cleanly through in these early stages, and Stratton-Lake has made good running, as has Andrew Bentley. And Andrew Bentley, we said to watch for him from the 5th row of the grid, already into second, and he's about to challenge for the lead here. He draws alongside Wills, coming along the Cooper Straight into Surtees, and what a fantastic sequence of corners that is from Bentley, the former Clio Cup racer, former BRDC Formula Ford racer as well, and he is right up at the head of the field. And Rob Boston, his principal rival this year, being left with a fair amount to do. There's Boston in the blue number 9 car, currently running about 8th position. Stratton-Lake follows in the wheel tracks of Ken Savage through Hawthorns on towards Westfield. So it's Bentley who leads it, Martin Wills in second, Savage third, then Stratton-Lake, and the pole sitter David Hay has slipped down into 5th position as Rob Boston looks to make ground and moves to the inside of Adam Knight as he climbs into Sheen Curve. So that's ground gained for Boston, also trying to follow him through. It's the bright orange car of Craig Denman. Perhaps as would have expected, Andrew Bentley now is in the lead. It's rather the pool dependent disappeared. You've got a superb scrap though going on for second, which really involves much of the rest of the field as they plunge down out of Stirling's into Clearways and on to complete the first lap. Though it's still Martin Wills who maintains that second position. Ken Savage though hot on his heels, and then Phil Stratton-Lake, who always seems to go very well here at Brands Hatch. And so he will be heartened to be running up in these elevated places in the early stages as Rob Boston looks to challenge around the outside of Paddock Hill Bend. No way through there for Boston. So they plunge through Paddock, climb up towards Druids, and Boston gets the switch back on Stratton-Lake. He should go through here, but Phil braking very, very late into Druids and keeps his footing around the outside. And that's really nice driving from Stratton-Lake. Very agile defensive thinking. He knew that he could hold the outside line through Druids. That will give him the inside line for Graham Hill Bend. That's exactly what he's done. So Stratton-Lake maintains that 4th position. How long for remains to be seen. All the while though, Martin Wills is backing up this group of cars. It means that Andrew Bentley, in the lead of the race, is able to disappear into the distance, and this is, or was, bad news for Rob Boston. The safety car is out, so the pack all being bunched up, and that's going to be immensely frustrating for Andrew Bentley, because with Rob Boston in 5th, he would have really fancied his chances of getting away here. And here's the reason why. It's David Hay from pole position who has tangled with Adam Knight. Those 2 cars are both damaged, both at the periphery of the circuit. They need a recovery, and therefore the safety car is out. Fortunately, the driver's unhurt. Their machinery maybe slightly less so. There's Adam Knight's car dragged to the tyre barrier. The Clearways gravel trap, but the lights out on the safety car. Race about to get underway then once more at Brands Hatch. It's accelerating through along the Bramham Straight and on to start. The restart is Andrew Bentley, as we've got a very brief shower here at Brands Hatch. The rain just coming, sprinkling down. That's going to make it very, very tricky, particularly as the heat will have gone out of the tyres, shearing the safety car period, so they all climb up the hill towards Druids, work around Druids, and then back down into Graham Hill Bend, and still Ken Savage under a little bit of pressure from Stratton Lake and Rob Boston as well, and Rob Boston launches through and takes 4th position away from Phil Stratton Lake. So he has judged this restart very well. It's a very warm day here at Brands Hatch. Also showing strongly Ed Morris, who is a very welcome addition to grid this weekend. He's trying to move to the inside. Jose Palazon in the bright orange car, and Morris in the silver car squeezes through, gains the position as Rob Boston, wiper on full chat, moves the inside. Martin Wills into Hawthorns. That's another very nice move from Rob Boston. Gains the position, runs out on the curb, almost onto the grass. And Andrew Bentley, he's going to have to get his head down here on this first lap under the green flag, since safety car went in to try and pull away from Boston as best he can, as Boston climbs into second. Superb move on Ken Savage as they went through Dingle Dell up towards Sheen. So now Boston in that number 9 car, the Blue Machine, released to chase down the race leader Andrew Bentley. There's Craig Denman, he's got Warren Scott, Ross Nistel Warren in his first season of racing. So showing strongly is Nigel Ayres as we take another look at Rob Boston's overtaking antics. Well, Martin Wills jinked out the slipstream to try and challenge Ken Savage. Rob Boston, though, to the inside of the road into Hawthorns. Quick corner, found the way through, and then was very, very lucky not to run out of road on the way out of the corner. And then this absolutely superb move through Dingle Dill, plants the car to the inside the road into Sheen. Job done. But given that we've got this very light rain that was falling, makes it very, very slippery as Boston snatches the break into Sterling's, pulling clear though of Ken Savage. Then we've got this fight. Martin Wills heads it still in car 33. Then Warren Scott and Craig Devon, and Scott thought about looking at the inside. Devon, who challenges around the outside of the wheels through Sterling's. That's a superb move from Craig Devon to gain the position. He really caught Martin Wills by surprise there. So he climbs up and now sets off in pursuit of Ken Savage. And Craig, another driver who often shines on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix. Loopy was very successful last year in the Lotus Track Elise Trophy, supported the FIA Formula 2 Championship, and he will want to claim another podium from this race. Then we've got this gaggle of cars: Martin Wills, Warren Scott, Phil Stratton Lake, who is still very much part of this scrap. Also Neil Stotter in the blue and white car, and Mark Yates as well, the first of the silver cars, number 37. It's Mark, and also Nigel Ayres. Really good to see Nigel going so strongly. Stalwart competitor in the Lotus on Track Elise Trophy. So they head around Graham Hill Bend, and coming up to the tail of that train is Ed Morris, and Morris should make the pass on Nigel Ayres, sprinting along the Cooper Straight. He's got the car to the inside the road into Surtees, provided he's able to brake in timely fashion. He should hold that through Surtees. He slips ahead of Nigel Ayres. You can see the challenge ahead of Craig Denman to home in on Ken Savage in third as Stratton Lake, and Martin Wills goes side by side into Hawthorns, and looking around the outside there is Phil Stratton Lake. Is he going to be able to make that stick? Yes, he does. Very, very nicely judged manoeuvre as Ed Morris and Mark Yates also try and make up ground, working their way past Neil Stotter. And Ed Morris in particular is finding the space, and Morris, he's already past Yates, and he's going to look and try and pressurise Stotter as they climb through Sheen, their way through there, but maybe into Sterling's, the silver car. Ed Morris jinks the inside, he moves ahead of Stotter. He may even try and overtake Martin Wills here as they sprint down towards Clearways. They almost fan out 3 wide, and Mark Yates trying to squeeze through as well. What sort of order are they going to arrive into Clearways? Yates has got through. Ed Morris then barges his way past. That's very, very brave driving from Ed Morris, and he can count himself lucky that Mark Yates saw him. Yates taking evasive action, robust overtaking from Ed Morris, but it's gained him the place. So he is now at the head of this frenetically dicing train of cars. Nigel Ayres and Martin Wills still part of it. Wills in the 33 car looks to the outside of Mark Yates into the hairpin at Druids, pitches the car into a little bit of a slide, and that is going to push him down the order. He's now got Matthias Radstock as well, car 32, looming very large behind him. There is Radstock in the black car as they head onto the Cooper Straight. Meanwhile, the leading duo, Andrew Bentley and Rob Boston, continue their scrap, and Andrew Bentley, well, so often this year he's had to play second fiddle to Boston, who really has done most of the winning, but at the moment though, Bentley has got the advantage. Boston looking every which way into Westfield. Has he forced the error here from Bentley as he runs over the curbs out wide, and that's going to give the lead the race to Rob Boston. So Rob Boston jumps into the lead the race here at Brands Hatch. We're going to take a very short break. Join us in a couple of moments' time as the Lotus on-track action continues.